Hey folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. We're at Circuit World here in Blue Ridge. Yes, you might be driving with the windshield wipers on all weekend, but you know what? Our farmers need it. We're good. I'm here with Jane. Rick's back from wherever. He'll tell us in a minute.
Rick.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. JR's over there.
Thanks, JR.
And Bruce is here, as always, and we are the All-Star Political Panel. I want to say thank you to all the new viewers out there. And
wait, we got new viewers?
Did you ask Bruce not to? And I want to say thank you to the new viewers out there. I know some of you have sent me messages. You watched the baseball tournament last week, and then you watched a couple episodes of the show. We appreciate it. I want to give a big shout out to Mr. Eckert out there in Northern California. How you doing? Great conversation. I enjoyed it. Okay, so let me pick which one of the three of you I think should be in prison. Well, you know, Nancy said she'd like to. I'd like to see. What's that guy right there? We just send him to Rikers Island with Paul Manafort. Oh,
even
my God.
AOC stood up for him. Said no one should be at Rikers.
No
one should be in solitaire. Is what she said.
The only way to open up the show is just they have lost their mind. I know we say it every week, but they have totally lost their
Nervous
mind.
Nancy.
Rick, glad
She's
to
a
have you
disaster.
back.
She's nasty.
Glad to be back.
So, what do we want to go with first? Now, we can go with the trip abroad that has messed the media up because those are the allies that Trump, seems like just 2 years ago, destroyed our relationship with, that rolled out the red carpet. And it seems like he's had a very successful trip abroad and they don't know what to do with it. The media doesn't know what to do with it. They're
Last time I heard, they didn't want to invite him to the wedding, and you know it was a mess when they just hate Trump, and now the Queen was just really.
I don't think the Queen ever hated him.
Rolled him out. Oh,
Yeah, the Queen is above all that stuff.
oh,
please.
That's
she's
a
always
mean
neutral.
woman. That's a mean little old woman.
she's a
Oh,
little-
come on.
Hadn't you read all the books?
All right, okay.
Do you see the stuff what like her sisters and the parents did during the war? I mean, they were part of. They were.
Oh, they did a lot. She was a mechanic. They worked at the war.
Yeah.
Let's say this, because I agree with you. There's a lot they don't tell in history, obviously, and that they don't discuss that happened in World War II, and they don't talk about with. Is it Roosevelt or Roosevelt? My dad is Roosevelt.
Just do FDR.
Right?
You'll be
FDR. FDR's
So Roosevelt and Churchill. So there's so much in history that they just touch on the outside edges that they don't go into.
Well, Philip's family was all they were Nazis. His sisters married high-ranking Nazis.
Right.
They were and it gets a little fishy in there.
Exactly. But that being said, the Queen is 93. The Queen knows what World War II was like. She lived through it. She was actually a mechanic through it. And she smiled a lot. And my opinion that I said on the show is, you got to talk about this young Queen, very young. And Winston Churchill's the first guy that shows up and says, here's your weekly government papers that you're supposed to look at. And Donald Trump, to me, reminds her, she has not seen anybody like that since Winston Churchill. That's just my opinion. I think she really likes the guy.
That's an interesting.
What say you?
I mean, I agree with you. We watched everything over there, and it was interesting because we were getting it closer to, 4 hours behind the U.S., so we were able to see it during regular hours. We didn't have to get up in the middle of the night. But I agree. I mean, the first time I've ever seen that CNN guy, what's his name?
Jim Acosta.
Acosta?
Yesterday on the speech.
I mean, it was like, what is that the real Jim Acosta?
Well, they had to because they know they were getting pulverized by the media over there, who was very glowing. And so they're going, okay, we can't be second fiddle to these guys, so we got to, eat some crow and say,
how is
CNN Europe saying different stuff than CNN US?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And what you're getting at, and I agree with you, is our media hid what their media was actually reporting. Now, in London, which we think in New York City, very liberal, a Muslim city, right? Majority of London is now, my understanding, is Muslim. Muslim mayor, whether you like it or not, it's not being controversial. The short little guy, Saeed, is the short little mayor of London, is a Muslim. I agree with Trump. He's a short little guy. He's Muslim. He's an angry little mayor. But that being said, London is as liberal
to
as
coin
can be.
it properly, he's a stone cold loser.
Stone cold loser. Yeah.
Doing a
Okay,
terrible
yeah.
job.
But anyhow, they were trying, and our media was loving it, and they were trying to build up that they would be 250,000 in the streets. Now, realistically, I'm thinking I heard, 10, 15,000, or maybe.
Yeah.
That's a lot, but that was really short
Underwhelming.
of the 250,000 that they were trying to tell us would happen.
Yeah,
Yep.
like 90% short.
Yeah. So how upset were you that Trump called Meghan Markle nasty? Did that ruin your week?
Well, I heard the whole explanation. So he was just saying, I didn't know she had been nasty.
Right. But
It's
did
like he
you-
didn't really know that much about her. and
Everything's
that-
so taken
he
out
had
of
no
context.
clue. It
Did
was
you
just-
see what our media did with that?
Oh my gosh.
I believe the American people are through with him. I really do. I really do. In a large part, I believe a lot of the American people are through with him because I was sitting there and I'm watching at 5 o'clock in the morning, the door open to Air Force One. You know how they have it and they got the camera on it, right? And President has touched down with an etiquette disaster. It's on the bottom of CNN's screen. He's broke diplomatic protocol already. It's all over the screen. MSNBC, CNN. The door's open. He's touched down. He's coming to the door, and they're talking about this. How will he be received at the palace after calling the princess nasty? No, he didn't call her nasty. There's three. There's a couple different ways to use nasty. Get in there and wash your nasty hands. Okay. There's a nasty girl at that dance club,
Gee.
And she's
and
nasty.
I didn't
We're
know.
doing the nasty.
Doing the nasty. That goes with the dance club. And then wait a minute, Bruce. This is true. If you watch it, and then I didn't realize you were nasty about that.
Yeah.
And that's what Trump did. But if you watch, I took so many pictures of it. I screenshot all of them. They would put nasty in the quotations, and they did it for 2 to 3 days. And Prince Harry steered clear. They don't talk about all the pictures with Harry and the Obamas and stuff like that. Who cares? Oh, seventh in line from the throne. I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't care. But they ran with that 3 days like it was top story.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you. I wasn't able to see any of the shows. I'm a pretty regular viewer. Did you do that nasty routine in one of the shows during the week?
Absolutely. In fact, I did some things much more offensive than that. I called.
I'm looking at Josh over there, and he's going, "Oh boy!"
Is that how you got the new viewers?
Well, I said something about Stacey. I called Stacey. I named Stacey Abrams something I should not have.
Oh.
But I can't do it again.
You do it again.
She's at the Bilderberg meeting. Did you know?
She is?
What?
Are you kidding
Well,
me?
she flew out.
Yes.
She flew out to Hollywood.
My God.
Are you
Stacey.
serious?
Stacey flew
How did
out.
she get invited to
Oh,
that?
my. That's a serious bad sign. I mean, if
Listen,
Somebody
she's in
paid
with those
Stacey
guys.
flew out to
We're in
Hollywood. Stacey
trouble.
Abrams flew out to Hollywood to talk to them, to calm them down about Georgia. But if they couldn't calm down, send us the money to run, the Democrats.
Is that why the 4 of them were here yesterday?
Yeah, she went out to Hollywood. I think I was totally wrong for calling her a chocolate milk cow. I think I was wrong. It shouldn't happen. I should never do that
Kidding me.
again.
You
Was that
deviated.
milk or dark?
You deviated from the water buffalo.
Yes, I went from watermelon. Rick, and most of my problems, you egg me on. You're encouraged.
I had to ask the question.
You're like when I got home. You're like when I was 8 years old and I got home from school and
Wish
I
I
got
thought
in
of
trouble. Mom, Rick wouldn't shut up in school today. No, I shouldn't say that. That was wrong. Just saying.
Have you heard from the NAACP?
Not yet, not
Southern
yet.
Poverty
I'm
Law
waiting
Center.
for
That's right.
Al Sharpton and Jesse to show up now.
SCLC?
But no, Stacy goes out there. But no, I'm tired of that crap. I don't care if they like what I say or not. I mean, she goes out to Hollywood. Look, if Hollywood does not want to film here, I had a guy put a great thing out. Go up to New York and go to California and give them half your money.
They said New York, the Hudson
Yeah.
River Valley.
Go up there
They're
and give them half your money.
angling for all
and
the
be
movie
happy.
stuff.
So let's move on from that to nasty and stuff like doing the nasty and the 8 different ways you can look at nasty that our American media spent 3 days on. Pelosi, the president should be in prison. What say you on that one?
Outrageous.
Oh.
Just people keep saying they're terrified, they're scared to death.
They are.
Yeah, I hope they are, but I don't know if they're scared to death or I don't know. They have lost.
Or they're just
I've
numb.
never seen anything
No,
like
they're
it.
in a total mess. Democrats are in a total
They're
mess.
in a mess.
Well, and supposedly Pelosi is doing this because she knows to say things to get under his skin, to
Yeah.
elicit response.
he's
like
he's
he
in a
did.
cover up and
Now he said stuff back at her, slap back, sitting there at the D-Day
Do
cemetery.
you actually believe Nancy's bringing them back, or they're just playing the rope-a-dope? That
She's stringing it out.
Yeah,
she's stringing it out.
I don't think her and Nadler are in a room fighting over it. I think they go in a room and say, "What's the plan?" You go out, you keep saying you want it,
Yeah.
you keep those 56 wanting it, boom. Then I'll go out and say, "No, we can't." Okay, make it. I believe that's the game.
Do you think AOC is really running her or has a lot of influence over Nancy?
No,
Not at
AOC's a
all.
loose cannon.
She is a loose cannon. I don't know
media-
if
the
she's
media's-
intimidating. I really didn't know how
The
to
media, I think, is just running that narrative that AOC is
influencing
is pulling
Nancy
Nancy
and kind
strings.
of has the thing up.
Yeah,
You
you talk about a nasty person
Oh.
from her upbringing. That is a nasty woman right there.
Her daughter said she'll cut your head off and just keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never before
we're
you
back
knew
on
she
Pelosi.
was
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pelosi would.
do
See,
something.
I believe they're in a total. I believe Democrats are in an absolute total mess. They don't know which way to turn. I think if the election is held today, Trump wins in a landslide. I think he's going to have enough coattails to bring the Republican Party back into the leadership, and they're scared to death of it. I think they're in a total mess. See,
They have no viable candidate right now.
No, they don't.
They do not have a viable
I will
candidate.
tell you this, and you can say what you want. You can make a joke out of it, laugh. I either live in a world all by myself, or I live in the real world. And I might not live in the real world. I might be all by myself.
I
over
think
here.
you got a foot in both.
I like it. I like it. Remember that. Write that down.
He's straddling the line, baby.
Got it, baby. But my thing is, if you want me to believe that the Democrats want a pasty 76-year-old white guy that is touchy-feely, creepy, what would you call it?
Plagiarizer.
Plagiarist.
Plagiarist,
Again.
whatever.
Again.
If
Again.
you want me to believe that the African American community says we want this pasty 76-year-old white guy, creepy old guy, you're totally wrong. There's no way. You're going to get me to believe in the real world that the American people said, yes, let's go with Joe.
Do you think he'll even make it to the debates? I think he's going to.
Really, tell me what you think there, because they're doing everything to run his cover and keep him. Because, okay, Joe came out as this major front runner. Now think of what he's already survived that other people can't. Joe's already survived what? The Anita Hill thing, right, with his party. They came out and said, how will he get past the way he treats? That's done, right?
Yeah.
The creepy, touchy-feely, that's done.
Well, they're getting everything done early.
Right? Ukraine, right? China.
That ain't done yet.
That ain't done.
No, okay, it's not done, but let's not say done, because I understand what that means, but let's say he's surviving them right now.
He's surviving against the other candidates.
Right.
Once
when I
he
say
gets-
other
I tell you what,
Democrat.
if he
Once
if
Trump
he wins
starts
the
running.
nomination, which I don't think he will,
I
but
don't
if
either.
he does, He
They're
will
trying
get
to make sure he
absolutely
does.
annihilated.
They're trying to make sure he does. They're doing everything they can to make sure he does.
Yeah, but I think the Republican opposition groups haven't like turned up the heat yet.
No, they haven't.
I got you on that.
They're
Let's
sitting
stay
back and-
focused. I agree with
Letting
you.
him make a bigger
No,
fool
I'm not
of
saying it's
himself.
done. I'm saying look at the things he's getting through on the Democrat side.
Yeah.
Okay, he's getting through all that. So he
Well,
dropped.
they're calling him hiding Biden for a reason. I mean, he's not making any appearances. He did like the little fundraiser.
All right.
And
Think of
something-
him with a debate against Donald Trump. I mean,
You're jumping past the primary.
Yeah.
Don't
Just
take
fun
that
to
wrong.
think
He
about.
has. Why is that wrong? He's already jumped past the primary.
No.
He's not
What
doing
I'm
it-
saying is
he's
our
not-
and Bernie
discussion.
thinks they have it in the, they have him in the bag.
Well,
He-
update. I mean, you track all this stuff. Who's qualified for? Aren't the first Dem debates next week?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
And you know what's
Really?
disgusting?
Who's qualified?
Not
It's
many.
what's disgusting is everything they are saying, and it's all a Democrat candidate will get on the stage or go out there and they'll say all of them. We got to get corporate money out. We've got to not have money run our elections. But
130,000 donors or something.
Money is running whether they get on the stage.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I watched that town hall with Chris Wallace the other night with Kirsten Gillibrand.
Oh.
It was absolutely disgusting what she did for about 8 minutes on the NRA so she could get donors. She's still short, so she could get donors. I want to go back to Biden for just a second on that. I agree 100%. Once he gets the Donald Trump's, all right, he's gone. But right now, the DNC is definitely doing everything they can to make Trump their candidate. They are. The
The
DNC.
DNC to
Biden.
make Biden.
Biden, their candidate. Sorry.
They are.
They're trying to do everything to make Biden their
Unbelievable,
candidate.
too.
Nothing has changed at the DNC since Hillary. Nothing. They're as corrupt. They're picking their candidate. The Democrats are in the same position we were in 2016, and we broke it with Trump. They're in the same position. The Hillary, now Biden. So Biden comes out, and he's immediately got this major polling number up here. Okay? Then he dropped a little bit. What did they do? They immediately came out on the news 2 days ago with 2 states, one particularly Texas, that they're saying Biden polls to win Texas.
You know what?
On purpose, they're doing it.
I don't think Biden would ever poll to win. I can't believe
We
that.
know it's all
But
lies.
I think why, it just dawned on me, why they may be supporting Biden and want him to be the nominee, because they can control him. They can't control Kamala Harris. They can't control, I think they could, he would be an
I don't know so much
absolute
about-
wishy-washy.
I don't know so much about that. Any of them are
She's
going to fall
much
into
more
the middle.
strong. I mean, all of them are more strong than Biden. He's just a wimp.
Yeah, but I think
Rag.
the DNC views him as like a more middle of the road to win the national
I know
versus
that.
all
but
these left of center primary.
Well,
they
look at
really
what
think
look
you
at what
can
Biden's
win?
done already. I mean, let me tell you something. Whether you're out there and you're religious or not, or you have faith or not, whatever it may be, if you believe in it today, please believe in it tomorrow. I get tired of these Catholics that throw their religion under the bus to get. I mean, you got so many of these Catholics that the priest won't even do confession with them, or won't even give them you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Abstinence.
some bishop
Right.
just banned.
Well, look what Biden did yesterday. He's a devout Catholic. He went against the Hyde Amendment. Now, Henry Hyde, strangely from Illinois,
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
1976, the Hyde Amendment. The American people say, hey, if you want an abortion, we're not paying for it. And for those of you that don't know that, the Hyde Amendment was put in 1976 to say, you know what? Federal tax money cannot be spent for abortion.
Yep.
Right? What did Biden do in Atlanta yesterday? I'm a devout Catholic. I'm for the Hyde Amendment. There's all these things. And he threw it under the bus yesterday. I'm no longer for the Hyde Amendment. All right, go
The only
ahead.
thing I brought.
Bring it up. Go, Rick.
Mr. Biden, as a senator from Delaware, made a similar case to Henry Hyde's in 1986, telling UPI if it's not government's business, then you have to accept the whole of that concept, which means you don't prescribe your right to have an abortion and you don't take your money to assist someone else to have an abortion.
That's right.
That
in
was
the beginning of May, he said to a reporter, he says, "Yeah, we're going to throw the Hyde Amendment out."
He said it yesterday. Very clear.
Yeah,
pressure from the libs.
yeah.
He got pressured into flipping.
Well, he
That's
just,
what a
he has
wishy-washy
not
is.
got a rudder. They're his rudder. He
You're
does
absolutely
whatever
correct.
they say.
He doesn't
That's
have
a
a
good way
motor
to
either.
put
He
it.
doesn't have a motor either. But he has had a facelift. Have y'all noticed?
How many times?
I don't know, but there's a recent one. mean,
I don't look at stuff like that.
Oh, well, I do. He's
Well,
so
you
vain.
should.
He's so vain. You know that song, He's So Vain? He's that. He comes out in his pilot, his
Aviators.
aviator things, and
Yeah.
his smile. He knows he's got a fabulous smile. He's just so conceited.
I tell you what, I'm with Trump. He's a low energy candidate because I'm going to tell you something, man. I'll look at this
Biden,
camera.
Biden, I love
Lower
it.
than Jet.
I'm gonna look at the
Bush.
camera and tell you, when I get Donald Trump's age, if I can do whatever that man, I gotta give it to that guy, boy. I don't know if he's getting them B12 shots or what he's getting, but the
He
Donald,
sleeps like 4 hours.
oh my God, that guy nonstop.
Yeah, so he'll be coming back today and probably be doing something on the weekend.
Yep, probably got it.
Well,
around
he
this.
said Nancy's a disaster. I love that. I absolutely love that.
Nervous Nancy's a disaster.
She's a total disaster. They're a disaster. I have two subjects, and I apologize for maybe being a little overbearing this morning or in my whole entire life. But anyhow, I have two subjects. One, this year marked the 30 years of Tiananmen Square.
Yep.
Really?
And as you know, I like to study the media, and and they did a whole day. They did report after report on how the Chinese government is erasing everything about Tiananmen Square,
Rewriting history.
from their books to everything. And they even had I watched a report with one lady. They were going up to kids at Tiananmen Square, 18, 19, and asking them, and they would show them pictures of the tanks, and the kids had no idea what it even is. Okay, so my point is our media went after the Chinese from erasing history, and I did this on my show. I said, folks, in 10 years, you're going to walk up to an 18-year-old and show them what a Confederate flag is, and they're not going to know what it is. Do you know how much stuff we erase from our history
Lots.
every single day?
And if you saw the school books of the children, the history books, like this, my nephew is now a principal, but he taught history for many years in Arkansas, and he said the Civil War is a page and a half. And then they said you can't teach the Civil War, and so he said he was furious. And then he said he started teaching Reconstruction, and you can't teach Reconstruction without teaching the Civil War, and he taught it. He didn't get in trouble. But we ask our college grandchildren, why are we celebrating Memorial's Day? And one of them said, Granddaddy, I don't really know. She's at Cornell. I mean, that means she's smart.
So you get
but she
100% what I'm
doesn't
saying.
know.
We
Yeah,
went after the Chinese for that. You've seen we went after them for erasing that history,
They're just not.
and we're erasing history every single day
But
in
they
this
don't
country.
want them to know our history, to have any patriotism or
Right.
understand what this country had to go through to get their independence. They haven't got a clue.
All right, let me ask you a second question. I know the president was abroad, but last Friday, as we were here later in the day last Friday, a guy walks in Virginia Beach city office building
City Hall.
and kills 12 co-workers, murders 12 co-workers. Now, I don't want to say one less, two less, or it makes a difference.
One wasn't a
death is
coworker.
enough.
One was someone there just getting a permit, but
Okay, 11 co-workers and a permit.
yeah, innocent bystander.
But the point is what was that? 12 is only 5 less than Parkland School. I don't mean it that way. Where's it at on the news?
It's been
What-
on a little.
Well, very little.
It's kind of like the Las Vegas thing, you know.
Where's it
They're
at?
investigating,
Now,
and,
here's
they,
what I
and they don't know
love.
anything yet.
Here's what I love is now the media's taking the moral high ground. So Friday this happens. It's Sunday I watched all the morning shows. And I got George Stephanopoulos, okay?
Snuffleupagus.
Yeah. I got him looking at the camera and saying, we will not highlight. We will not put the picture up of the killer or give his name. We will not highlight that. Wait a minute. Why? Because he's not a creepy white kid that has a manifesto or has an AR-15 he got out of his dad's closet. Why will you not? Because all these other things, you're very quick to put the picture up and start breaking it down. And,
It seems to be a new mode they moved into, not to publicize.
I can tell you why. The guy is a black guy. He's an engineer. He worked there. It doesn't fit any of the narrative. He had handguns.
He was using a 45.
They were all alive. Everything he did was legal. He didn't fit any narrative that they needed.
Yeah.
Right, to
you
exploit it.
understand?
To exploit it. They just couldn't.
I mean, where are the satellite trucks? Where's the 3 days? Where is the... Oh, my God.
I never realized, being away from,
All this.
I didn't realize he was black.
I didn't either. I didn't realize
Exactly.
he was black.
Right, Josh? I mean,
Yeah.
I put it up. I'm not
you?
highlighting him.
Yeah,
I'm not
after a couple days. I mean, it finally came out. They gave the guy's
Right.
name, and but I didn't see that on the major news. I saw it on the internet.
Exactly. I did it on my show, and we said clearly, Josh will tell you, we said we're not doing it to highlight. I'm just asking, what? The guy doesn't fit any of the narrative they need. It's just so disgusting. These people are absolutely disgusting. Our media, it doesn't fit any narrative. 12 people are dead. Now, guess what happens? The governor of Virginia, this racist, kill 'em baby governor in Virginia,
Nothing.
is calling for a special session for the Virginia State Legislature. And when does he do it? He does it with Choke'em Lord Fairfax. Okay?
Joke.
Well, you know what I mean?
Oh, jeez.
Choke him and poke him.
I just got a really bad visual.
Sorry, I can't help it. And Choke'em Lord Fairfax, you'll be okay, sweetheart. And he's standing there with women that allegedly he's raped, and they can't get a hearing. But he's going to do a hearing. I mean, he's going to bring a special session of the Virginia State Legislature. You know what he says he doesn't want? He doesn't want thoughts and prayers. He wants laws. I don't know.
you go.
I'm sorry.
Action Jackson.
That's the
Yeah.
bottom line.
All right, Bruce.
It's a classic response to these events. They always have to roll out a law, or get everybody together and talk about gun control, and that's exactly what he was talking about. Extended magazines, suppressors, da 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 da. I mean, the
Can I
same.
roll with something real quickly?
You guys take over. You guys
take over.
I got it back.
It just seems like yesterday you and I were sitting down at your place. Sycamore Crossing, sitting in front of Tupelo Tea on a trip that I took over to the UK a week before Brexit.
Yes.
We talked about it
Yes.
because I talked to folks over there.
Yes, I remember.
I revisited that whole thing because we had a huge group of Brits on the trip that we just finished. So I befriended this couple. We were going to do a tour with them. It's a Jeep excursion, 4 people in a Jeep. You go out, and these were our people. So I just sat down. Where are you from? We're from just Southampton. Oh, really? What do you do? Well, I just sold my company. Congratulations. Hope you're enjoying your retirement. Da 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 da. I said, let me ask you, if I could. And he looks at me and goes, you want to know about Brexit, don't you?
Sure.
I said, hey, I'm hands off if you don't want to go there. We do a little political show on Friday, and, I'd like to get your perspective. And I could go into all the detail because he was an absolute Brexit lover. He wanted out. He was a guy that was a capitalist. He had a company, he sold it, made a lot of money, bought a lot of nice cars, and now he's enjoying life. I talked to another gal. She was a transplant bartender from Ireland. What do you think about Brexit? If we get rid of Brexit, we're screwed. You can put lipstick on that pig any way you look at it, But when you come right down to it, it's all about the same thing. It's the have-nots that want the benefits. She's from Northern Ireland. They're getting all the benefits, and they're hardly putting anything into the gig. But you got the Brits over there who are the fourth in line as to the amount of money that they put into Brexit, and they're not getting anything. They're not getting any benefits. What is the difference with what we're doing over here? You've got those that want the social programs that aren't contributing, and then there's the contributors that are providing all the social programs. You can take Venezuela, you can take Brexit, you can take the U.S. It's all the same to me. It just kind of hit me, and I said, it's all the same across the board.
Yeah, and you're not going to change the mind of the have-not because they've been so used to
it's
getting money.
It's the haves providing for the have-nots, and once those have-nots get in control, it's over.
Well, this dovetails into that no one knows history because the young kids have no idea really what communism is. All they see is we're going to get free everything. They have no idea how it gets really one-sided and the have-nots have less than have-not. No medical care, you wait 2 years. They don't want to hear it, even if someone wants to tell them.
Yeah.
They don't know it. They don't want to hear
And
it.
socialism to them is basically the government doing a bigger job of doing things for them.
Nannying us, it's right.
pretty
We're in trouble because they're going to be leading this thing, in
Well, not for
even
a while,
10
but I think-
years or
10, 15 years, it's going to be
we'll
really
still
brutal.
This guy wanted out. He wanted out at all costs. He said, this is the third try. It's unbelievable how you vote something and they don't impose it. They want to redo on everything. I mean, we're going through the same crap over here. We want to redo on the Trump election.
I will say some of the good news. What would I say? Is some of the things that we have been isolated from in the past in certain areas, it's now showing up. I mean, I read an article and I watched a KTLA report 59,000 homeless in LA County.
Oh, yeah.
59,000. I read and I watched a report out there. And I mean, our cities are a disaster. Bruce, what subject you have there? You want to?
I didn't know if we were getting close
Yeah,
to
we're close to
winners and
closing up,
losers.
but I didn't know if there was a subject this morning.
No, I just have winners and losers.
Well, then let me throw this out. Tariffs. You okay with what Trump's doing?
Yep.
Love it. Say it again. Yep. You drew it right out there.
Look how quick the Mexicans got up to Washington
Absolutely.
and started talking. And, the 6,000 troops.
6,000 troops, and he's a winner.
Yep.
And those idiot rhinos, I mean, can you get more infuriated?
These senators have
Any
never run
more
a business in their life. They have no idea what they're
But
infuriated?
they're all responding to, constituents.
So you're
You know,
okay with
farmers-
it? You okay with it?
Well, that's one time
no,
when they
but I mean,
want to. They don't always
we
respond
would
to
prefer not to.
Yeah.
But hey, hey, look, Trump won a court case. He could actually declare that emergency and shift that money for the wall.
I thought
and
he
he
already
won that.
did.
No, we won that case.
Yeah.
He did,
Yeah,
but
he did.
they took us to court.
And the scary
they
thing
did.
is, like, all this, 140,000 people came, went across the borders in May.
Mm-hmm.
That's the ones who they, stopped.
Yeah,
You-
those are the ones they caught.
You don't know how many
Yeah.
others came across and all the
Exactly.
wide open choke points and all the other crap they brought with them. I mean, it's amazing.
Then they broke the story about the ISIS was planning on bringing
Oh,
in
yeah.
all these people to.
Don't you wish our media and these senators would have been as vocal and public about when we were sending our jobs there?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was all in the guise of, globalization. We have to spread the money around.
That's what I'm talking about in
Bill
this
Clinton.
Brexit thing.
Oh, so we
you
sent
spread
Ford
the
and
money
Chevy
around.
down
You
there,
have
and
open
now
borders.
They're going to have a problem getting back.
Well,
Hate it for you.
I mean, a number of these liberal commentators are always talking about, well, we have to go to Guatemala and help them get their economy back on their feet. Why is that our role?
That just sends me into orbit. I want to ask a question.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I got to say something right there before I forget.
All right.
Throughout the week now, when things happen, I'm visualizing you stomping around
Stomping
the kitchen.
stomping around the kitchen.
Right? I'm saying something will happen. I said, oh, I'm gonna,
stamping.
Jane, you're in so much trouble.
I've been
Jane's-
stamping a little
so
bit.
I'll say Jane's stamping around
Yep.
the kitchen now.
And you would be right. But so the picture we've all seen 1,000 times, the video, is all those immigrants just walking through the fence. I guess there's just a portal.
That black and white picture?
Black and white.
Yeah.
And they come and they're all standing. If we have the dadgum picture, why isn't anyone stopping them? I mean, was it they couldn't get anyone over there? They're just
good
saying, look at that. Oh, yeah, that's what's happening.
And they all just lined up, and just waited to be processed.
Like it was the band
My
coming from Wilson High
understanding
School.
is our men and women on the border are overwhelmed. That's what I mean.
There wasn't enough. I mean, they
Because-
couldn't get a helicopter there. Then what would they do? So I thought, what would they do? Surround them? They have 4 guys that go in a helicopter, and there's how many were there? There 1,000.
Over 1,000.
Yeah. So what do? You can't start shooting them. I mean, it's just.
I don't know. Trump's already
start
killed.
shooting.
Trump's already killed 7 kids. I mean, why
yeah.
not? I mean, it's just, you know what I mean. 7 have died. And
But to your point, though, they say they're involved with so much of this processing stuff.
Yeah, it's
60% of
horrible.
them are involved with processing.
Housing them,
So they're not
feeding
out in the wide open desert areas where they know the coyotes bring drugs and people across.
all right, air shots, flat tires, whatever you call it this day. Right?
Airball.
Airball. One of these days, I'm going to get it. Bruce.
Yeah, airball. Well, you'll probably appreciate this, but YouTube seems to be demonetizing
Yep.
people they don't agree with
Crowder.
more and more.
Right.
And it's all about censorship and control. Okay, home run. I kind of got 2, tied to D-Day. I think the men and women of D-Day, the veterans, and everybody associated with that effort certainly are the best of all the nations that were involved. So we certainly have to take off our hat and remember them.
Absolutely.
And the funny little thing was did you see the 93-year-old vet that was flirting with Melania?
Oh, I get it. I'm like, I love it,
And the
man.
president just rolled with it. He goes, "This is fine. She can handle it."
Hey,
Yeah, you can handle it.
So that's it.
Which leads me into my winner of the week, which is Melania Trump. I mean, if you watch that woman
Elegant.
carry herself
Elegant.
overseas in every event that she does, but especially this last one with the state dinner and the way she was dressed and the way she carried herself, I mean, absolutely a all-time winner. And my loser's another woman, Ilhan Omar. I think she's got a little bit of a problem these days with
Think?
with the IRS and maybe with the giving back
Finances.
some money on the campaign trail. I think what's going to happen is they're going to find, because she did two joint returns with 2 different men, one of whom
That's fraud.
was her husband, one of whom was her brother that she claims that she married,
Right.
that no one will acknowledge. I think this is all going to come out now.
I hope she's
hopeful it
in
was.
Rikers, and I don't.
But what about Elijah Cummings' wife?
Elijah Cummings' wife is another one. She didn't make the cut, but she's another one. Head of the Democratic Party in Baltimore,
Maryland.
Maryland. Excuse me, thank you. And she's under scrutiny big time.
For funneling money from a charity to
Would that
commingling
be the same
funds.
Elijah Cummings that says we have to start educating the American people about impeachment? Saying that, I would love to see Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's tax returns to see if she,
Misappropriated.
those tips, she was getting, she, put those on that tax return, all those bar tips she was getting.
She's a very
What say
accomplished
you?
bartender, though.
She what? She said she's.
What say you? Don't get sidetracked with him. He's straight just trying to cause problems over there.
Well, I just have one comment that Bill, my husband, told me this morning, and it's about reinventing history and rewriting history. He said that he had just read an article where the Germans now are starting to celebrate Memorial Day because now their story is that we came over there to liberate them, the German people.
Liberate them from the control of
Yeah,
Hitler.
So they're kind of bringing that in, and you wonder how many of them were really in the resistance. But they're just putting that, highlighting that aspect.
Little different spin. huh?
Little different.
Well, we
spin.
usually say liberating France and defeating the Germans.
That's what we usually
Yeah.
say.
Right, and
Yeah.
and
We
and
don't
they're
say
and they're,
Conquering the
liberating.
idea.
they're wanting to be recognized as that we also liberated them. Is that what you're getting?
Yes, that's what I'm trying.
We want to be a good guy.
You got anything else? Because your watch is flashing like it's telling you to say something else, or is
This
that
thing
it?
tells me I've fallen. Have you fallen? I've just clapped to something.
No, you're still right here. Are
Yeah, you haven't
finished?
changed.
You
I'm
got
finished.
something?
I'm
You sure?
finished. Yeah, I'm
All right, folks.
Wrap it up.
Here comes the big wrap up.
Yes, I'm ready.
Stand by.
No interruptions, please.
Get this man a cup
That's
of
usually
coffee.
for Bruce. No interruptions. One, first of all, if you haven't guessed by now, the media has lied to you about everything where your president's concerned. It doesn't matter what it is. The 2018 elections, remember, that was just a campaign thing for Trump. He was trying to play on your fears that there was a crisis and a caravan at the border. Now the media seems to think there's a crisis. They tried to lead you to believe for years, two of them, that he has destroyed all of our relationships with our allies. Well, they don't know what to do with that. They lied about the Russian collusion. You name it, they lie. Period. Everything they've done. Now they're hanging on the word nasty. Let's get past that. Here's what I want to finish up by saying. There's two things that I thought about. I watched the D-Day. I was very fortunate to get up yesterday morning. It started 5:30 live. I got to watch it live. I don't get a lot of opportunities to say something positive about
D-Day.
the French, but I'm going to say President Macron did a really good job, and it was very emotional for me when he turned and thanked our 90-some-year-old veterans. That being said, I listened to the president's speech. There's a couple minor takeaways I want you to expand and think about. These guys are 93 years old, okay? They're 93. They landed that day because they love their country. Love their country. Could you love your country enough? And I was thinking about that. 93. I wasn't, these guys at 18, could you love your country enough? So that day they landed at 18, 19 years old with the love of their country. Would they have ever thought that on the 75th anniversary that they would be honored and respected from a man that loves his country as much as they did that day? And that's Donald J. Trump. So if those guys are sitting there at 93, the love they had to go on that shore, our president of the United States honored them, a man that truly loves his country. It just meant a lot. I pulled all that together. I was thinking, Donald Trump just truly loves this country. Now, here's the thing the media can't take, is Donald Trump loves this country so much that over in Europe, he's inspired people over there to love their country as much. And that's got them messed up, because that's what's happening now over in England and all these other countries, is they're saying, wait a minute, this guy loves his country so much and he thinks America first, why can't we do the same? And it's messing up the EU, the globalists, it's messing them totally up. They can't take it. I like it. I don't know about you. We're going to take a break. I've got Jessie Barton over here waiting in the wings. She's always waiting patiently. I keep telling her she's coming on at 9:30, and she keeps saying, really? Okay. And then we have the pet of the week from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge. I don't know how I came through on that, but we'll see. Take us a break.